Hey everybody, and welcome to my channel. My name is Caitlin, and I'm the wonderful looking here on YouTube and the Witch of Whispering Oaks. Today I'm going to be bringing you part one of the top excuse me, the top scary tomb messages. These are messages found on tombs or in tombs. Um, I'm doing four for right now, so this is part one. Um, so let's get right on into it. So at number four is a in memoriam and spot and why we shouldn't let a remembrance of why we shouldn't let our paranoia get the best of us. So number four is Giles Corey. Uh, he was born around August 1611 and he died September 19th, 1692 at the age of 81. His cause of death was being pressed to death during the Salem witchcraft trials, and I'll get more into that later. Uh, he was a farmer by trade. He lived in Salem. He married three times. His first wife, when he was in England. His third wife, Martha, was arrested on March 19th, 1692 for witchcraft. He even believed that she was a witch until he was arrested. Um, because he refused to enter a plea of guilty or not guilty, he was pressed to enter a plea. Because back then, they were operating under a law that was going on in England where if a person could not be taken to trial unless they unless they put in a plea of guilty or not guilty. And to keep people from escaping justice or justice, uh, they press them, which means that they're stripped down usually, uh, tied to the ground, had a wooden plank put on their body, and then rocks were added to press them to put in the plea. Because he refused to put in the plea, when he was asked to put if he was guilty or not guilty, he just said more weight. And because of that, he died after 2 days of pressing, and his wife was hanged as a witch. However, the thing with the pressing is because he did not put in a plea, he could not have his property confiscated, which was the thing back then. So, in his will, the property went to his two son-in-laws. Alright, moving on to number three is Timur the Terrible. He was born April 9th, 1336, and died between February 17th and February 19th of 1405 at the age of 69. So his cause of death was illness because he usually did summer or spring campaigns, but did one in winter, so he died of illness during a winter campaign. He was a sultan who founded the Timurid Empire. And here's the thing about he has a mausoleum. And when he died, his body was, of course, soaked in oils, wrapped in linen, and sent back to the empire in an ebony coffin. And of course, archaeologists are not going to leave tombs alone. We've learned that many, many, many times. So, so in when Russia was Soviet Russia, the USSR, archaeologists dug up his tomb, and according to them, there was a curse on the tomb that says, "When I rise from the dead, the world shall tremble. Whomsoever opens my tomb shall unleash an invader more terrible than I." And what happened 3 days later was Adolf Hitler launched Operation Barbarossa. Uh, and as soon as they reburied him with full Islamic rites, uh, those Soviets actually won uh, the battle at Stalingrad. So I'm not going to put my political opinions in this. I'm going to keep them well out of this. But maybe, maybe just maybe, if that's the case. But Moving on to number 8 is, of course, I mean, not number 8, I'm sorry. Number 2 is King Tut. Of course. So he died at between 18 and 19 years old. The cause of death is really not known. But here's the thing. Everybody says he was either murdered. That has technically been disproven because there was a hole in the back of his skull. However, that was done by Howard Carter and his crew when they were trying to unwrap him. They caused damage to the back of the skull. So that has been disproven. Everybody thinks he died in a chariot accident, which technically could happen, but his bones were examined, and it turns out he had a clubbed foot. Yeah, he did fracture his left leg, which caused illness, but he couldn't really stand up in a chariot because he had a clubbed foot. And in his tomb were hundreds of walking sticks, some used, some brand new. And most of the time, when you do see him pictured in the tomb art, he's either sitting down or has a walking stick. So I mean, maybe not, but also it could be his genetics because he married his half sister, and it goes back 3 generations of incest. So that does not really work out well. And finally, at number 1, we have a sad one for y'all. Of course, aren't all tombstones sad in some way? Number 1 is Mary Jane McCoon. She was born circa 1838 and died in 1855 at 17 years old. Her cause of death: she was bitten by a rabid coyote, developed rabies, and became aggressive and was smothered by a feathered bed. And what is sad about this is she was pregnant, so she and her baby were buried before the husband even got back because he was on a trip. So that is sad. Um, that is today's video, y'all. I hope y'all have a great day. Blessed be. Bye.